Here we have the current stock market analysis for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, this is a 4-hour price chart. Each candle on this price chart represents a 4-hour trading period. And this is a bit of a longer term view than we would typically look at for this stock. There are some specific reasons for that. One of the reasons that I started covering this stock in the first place was that, there was a huge amount of YouTube clickbait that was focused on this stock. I mean, this is probably one of the more common stocks that tends to be kind of watched and I don't know, promoted, I guess you could say, by the YouTube clickbait community. And what this really resulted in long term was a series of losses for many people. There were a lot of traders, people who claim to be traders that were saying that the stock should be purchased at the IPO. Share prices were much higher at that point. We can go back to the prior price highs, which came in during the January 2021 trading period, above $65. And we can see that all that this stock has really done since then is move, massively to the downside. I mean, this has been a tremendous amount of downside price movement. And, it's really surprising that more people on this platform are not held accountable for the disastrous trading recommendations that they were making in relation to this stock. But the reason that I started covering this stock was that, there was some suggestion here that we could be starting to see share prices move into a potential bottom. So, I was trying to, suggest to people that, this really wasn't the time to sell. If you got in at these prior highs, there were many stories in the comments about where people actually entered into their positions. And there are some real horror stories. I mean, there are some really negative stories because the stock really just collapsed after most of these ridiculous recommendations were being made. So, there are some really, unfortunate stories where people have lost large amounts of money on this stock. But, I was trying to encourage these people to not necessarily, start to move into, exiting the position because, we were coming into some fairly important support zones. Previously, where we were looking at this stock was this prior level at $3.60. That was before this area was retested here two different times. We have now seen sort of a confirmation that this area is now working as a longer term price bottom, but we were really looking at it back here, before these other tests had really developed. So, we really hadn't seen, this area tested here on multiple occasions, which we have now. And since then, we have seen, this is essentially a triple bottom at this point, and share prices have now started to show some very substantial price movements to the top side in percentage terms. I mean, this has been an outperformer even while the rest of the market has been selling off massively. So these are some surprising price movements, perhaps, but we were looking at this area as a potential bottom. And this does confirm that the analysis that we use for these types of strategies does work, and it does make sense to buy low and sell high rather than the reverse, which is what was being, encouraged by other people on this platform. So what we're going to do with this video here is to take a bit of a longer term view. Now that these price rallies have confirmed the outlook, confirmed that there was major potential at these bottoms and that it really wasn't the area to be selling the stock. We do need to sort of take a step back here and assess what type of upside potential would really be possible at this point. So now that we have broken above this $5 level, clearly this is going to sort of change the psychology for this stock. Previously, there were many comments in the comment section calling for share prices to fall to $1 per share. I'm hearing less of that at the moment. Like, people don't seem to be thinking that this is really a realistic possibility at the moment. And a lot of that has to do with the psychological changes in sentiment that tend to occur when large round numbers start to be overcome. So in this case, what we would really be looking at is this $5 mark. And now that we're trading sort of comfortably above here, the outlook is starting to change here a bit. So after moving into 565, we did see share prices test some lower levels here. Near term lows are coming in right around $5.10. And then we have seen a bit of a bounce here following that downside test. So the more of those that we see, the stronger, the stronger the support zone at $5 will become. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be broken to the downside, but I tend to, try to avoid psychological figures as much as possible. And I wouldn't really believe that the share price was likely to start heading lower significantly unless we see a break of this support region, which is really found right around $4.80 to $4.90. This area would mark the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone of this recent rally move higher. And then on the shorter term time frames, this area does coincide with some of the exponential moving average activity that's seen on the shorter term basis. So, I would really need to see this area break, not necessarily the $5 mark. I wouldn't necessarily start to panic if we did see that area break, because I do think that we would need to see a bit of a movement lower in order to truly start to reverse the bias and suggest that share prices are ready to start heading lower. So now that we have broken above this $5.04 area, we're currently trading right around this 550, 560 mark. And the next level to the top side clearly can be found at this $6.01 double top resistance zone, which was generated during the middle of May this year. So this is the next area to watch to the top side. I would consider this to be sort of the next major line in the sand. Probably at least from a technical perspective, I would say that it's definitely more important than the $5 area. Maybe not from a psychological sentiment type perspective, but at least for as far as technical as resistance is concerned. We do need to watch share price activity very closely as we're moving into the $6 mark. Last time we entered into this area, as we can see here, share prices did move right back into that 360 support zone, and we really gave back all of the gains that had been seen previously. So all of this price movement here that we're seeing, from roughly 360 to $6 was given back somewhat quickly. And we did ultimately see a bounce there, which was what was expected. But what has to be understood here is this is a very strong level of resistance that has only gotten stronger now that share prices have developed this double top resistance formation. So as things currently stand, we're still bullish on the outlook here. We would really need to see a break below 480, 490, and then the next level to watch to the top side, and this will be a formidable level of resistance, comes in right at $6.01. So here's the current stock market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.